Hello, and thank you for tuning in to watch me teach you how to make the ultimate #1 chicken pot pie from scratch. We're only going to take help from one pre-made item, but the rest will be pretty easy. So, what I've got going on here, first let's start by getting a little bit of butter and my pan starting to melt, okay? In here, I have got 2 chicken breasts in some chicken stock, and we're just poaching it so it's nice and juicy. Also in there, I'm taking the use of the heat, and I've got a potato in there and some carrots, okay? Now this has never even come to a boil or even a simmer. It's just been in hot liquid the entire time, okay? Okay, butter's starting to melt. So what I've got here is some great chopped up onions and celery. So in they go. Chop it up to the size that you want and just give it a nice little stir, okay? In here we're going to add some salt, because again, we're just trying to sweat these, no actual color, okay? Salt, pepper. Now if you are a fan of garlic, this is where you will add it, and I'm going to get me some here in just a second. I also added some garlic chips into my chicken stock that's poaching the chicken breast. Okay, so this is going to take me about 5 minutes to get these nice and translucent, and in the meantime I'm going to take the chicken out and put it on my cutting board and give it a chop. I'll be right back. Alright, my veg is nice and translucent now, and all I've done is taken all the vegetables that I had in here and chopped up it along with the chicken. Everything's about the same size pieces. In here I've got sweet peas. I had some leftover spinach in the fridge and some frozen corn, some flour. We are going to be using some heavy whipping cream along with some EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. Now it's time to do a little bit of seasoning here. We've already done salt and pepper in here, but I want some cayenne, just a sprinkle. It's a background note. And this here is the secret ingredient that goes in nearly every white sauce. Nutmeg, okay? Again, barely a sprinkle goes in. You're not even actually supposed to know what's in there, it's just there, okay? So, I can smell it. It smells really good. Hit that hot heat. Okay, I'm going to add in about tablespoon and a half olive oil. This is the fat so it can make a roux. The white sauce, bechamel, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to sprinkle over the flour. Okay? Now we're going to cook this because we want to get rid of that raw tasting flour. That look good. Not really yet. Kind of look like puppy dog food. Okay. Like I said, let it cook. This is what a lot of people forget to do this step. They automatically start adding in the liquids and the flour still tastes raw. Okay? So this takes about a minute 45 seconds to cook that raw taste out of that flour. Okay? So once you add that, you dump in your already warmed chicken stock that you cooked your other stuff in. See there, we're reusing. Smart. Give it a stir. This is going to make an awesome gravy. So I'm going to put the camera down while I stir this and we'll be right back, okay? Okay, so I'm done whisking. What I'm going to do now, you can see it's a nice thick gravy, is I'm going to turn the heat off and we're going to nearly finish this up. So I'm going to add in a couple tablespoons or a little bit more heavy whipping cream. Get that mixed in. Also at this point, you're going to want to stop and do a taste test. We're testing for seasoning now. Salt, pepper, maybe you want a little bit more nutmeg, whatever. Okay? I'm going to add in my frozen veg. again, that's just a little bit of spinach, the peas, and the frozen corn. Come on, piece of spinach, get in there. You know you wanna. It's warm. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't want to always come out. So grab it and put it in. Give that a zhuzh. Now this is also a good time to clean out the fridge. Okay? You got a little bit of rice that's left over from yesterday's meal, throw it in here. Okay? This is also a good thing to do for the day after Thanksgiving to get rid of that extra turkey that you got that no one wants to eat because you already had it for 6 or 7 meals in a row. Put it into this, okay? So now I'm going to add in my turkey, potatoes, and carrots. Now you remember these have all already been pretty much cooked because they blanched in the chicken stock with the chicken. Just give that a good little guzz around. Make sure it's all distributed evenly throughout the gravy mix here. One little thing I've got in the fridge is I have some leftover Parmesan cheese. It's not that much, but it's going in. A little bit more. It's stuck to the bottom of it. Cooking one-handed is not the easiest thing to do, y'all. In it goes. Okay. That's all. I just wanted to get rid of it, use it, and the flavor would be great. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. This is what you got in your fridge at home, okay? You got some leftover mushrooms, that would be great mixed in here. Okay. So like I said, the heat is off of this. I'm just going to let this set and get kind of down to room temperature. I've also got puff pastry, and I'm going to let that thaw out here on the stove, and I've got my pan that I'm going to be using. So give me about 3 minutes. This is a good time to hit the pause button and write down all of the ingredients that you have in your fridge that you can get rid of. Okay, this has come down to room temperature. All I did was put it into my baking dish, and now we're going to put on the crust. But I'm using puff pastry, that's my cheat. But you also want your crust to taste amazing because that's the part everyone dips into it. So, in my bowl here, I've got salt, pepper, egg wash, a tiny bit of agave nectar because I like mine sweet. And I'm going to take 2, I don't know if you can see it or not, 2 French blue lavender flowers and crush those into my egg wash mixture. It just gives it that little bit of what in the world is in here. It makes this taste so good. Okay, so now that I've got that, I'm going to take my egg wash and go along the outside of my baking dish because we want to seal in everything, okay? Done. Okay, now I'm going to take a chopstick that I have and poke in holes. I'm doing it this way just because I don't want to use the fork. But we do want steam to get out of our beautiful chicken pot pie. Okay, so here's the trick. Find the ugliest piece that you have. For me, it's a no-brainer, it's this one. It goes on just like that. Give it a little push on the edges. Make sure we got the nice seal going. Okay. Tiny bit of my egg wash right along the sides, because again, we want it sealed. Next piece of puff pastry. Alrighty. Give it the seal. Okay. Next piece. If you wanted to get decorative, this is where you're going to do it. I'm going to cheat. Again, it's like what I do. I'm like the best cheater. Okay. So, take your egg wash. Wash down the entire puff pastry. By the way, your oven is preheating right now to 350 degrees. Not only is this going to make this golden brown and delicious, but we're seasoning the puff pastry. Salt, pepper, parsley flakes, a little bit of agave in there, because I like mine sweet. On the sweet end, it's not going to be sweet. It's just going to have a little sweet something. Okay, I'm all painted up here. I'm going to take my chopstick again and go through where I already poked those just to make sure that they go all the way through. Some of them look like they kind of got sealed up with the egg. Okay. Now, I'm going to take sesame seeds. I've got black and white ones mixed here. Use what you want. And I'm just going to sprinkle, by using the lid, a few on top. Again, it's just that makes it look like you did something special and all you did was dump some stuff on top, okay? Okay. That's in. This goes into a 350 degree oven until the top is golden brown. Because remember, all the yummy stuff underneath here is done. Alright, so give me about 25 minutes to get this golden brown and we'll take a look at it. And I get to eat it. Disclaimer, before I put this in the oven, just so you know it's still the same one, I'm not cheating. I took my chopstick and just did this along the outside. Looks kind of like the fork. I just wanted to make it look like, you know, a little old grandmother made this or something. So, that's what I did. Nothing special, nothing's changed. Now, for the real test. Hear that? Nice and crunchy.